Want to know the best way to avoid a lawsuit in real estate? I'm Josh with the Lavik Home Team, and I am not a lawyer. However, I am your source for all things real estate. And in this video, I'm going to cover the most common real estate disclosure documents that you absolutely must know to help you avoid a lawsuit. You ready? Let's dive in, shall we? If you want to buy or sell real estate in 2026, then you're likely to encounter some real estate disclosure documents in the process. And in this video, I'll cover the most common ones and which you absolutely must understand before signing. Number one is the real estate condition report. Okay, this is the seller's disclosure of any defects in the property. As a seller, the state of Wisconsin says you have to disclose if you're aware of any defects in the roof, foundation, electrical, plumbing, etc. Okay, when I first started in real estate in 2005, this document used to be 2 pages. Now it's 6. Okay, and there are a lot of questions. Most of the answers are probably no, and that's okay. However, if there is any yes responses, the real estate condition report says you must explain what that yes response is. So if you're aware of defects in the property, you have to disclose as a seller what those are. And then as a buyer, you sign off and acknowledge those disclosures when you go to make an offer and you sign off on your offer to purchase. So some of the other disclosure documents that you may encounter in the process, as a buyer, right, you have also a bunch of loan documents, and those can come out as you're applying for your mortgage. And it's important that you touch base with your lender about the loan documents and make sure you sign them in a timely manner, because if you don't sign them, then it could delay your loan and ultimately delay your closing on a purchase. Check with your mortgage lender if you're getting a loan and make sure you're aware of what those disclosure documents say. Go over them with your loan officer if you have any questions. Other disclosure documents that are pretty common, one is you'll come across is the wire fraud document. Okay, wire fraud is real and it's on the rise. Unfortunately, there are some bad actors out there that are trying to intercept funds, and if you're going to be wiring any funds, just make sure that you verify the company and the documents and where you're sending it to and all that stuff. The biggest thing that I've noticed with that as well is I've received some fraudulent emails, people pretending they're part of the real estate transaction but not actually a part of it. Just be really careful on that. Make sure you double check like the email address, be cautious of some of the links, and just make sure that it's a legitimate source before you wire funds. Other disclosures that you may encounter that are pretty common these days are electronic signatures. So if you're going to be signing any documents electronically, right, there's a number of programs out there, DocuSign, DigiSign, a bunch of different ones, and there's document disclosure at the beginning that says you're acknowledging that this is part of your electronic signature. So it's embedded into that digital document process. So just be aware of that, but it's pretty common and you just need to acknowledge that's a valid form of your signature. So it is legally binding, that kind of thing. Okay, an additional disclosure that you'll also probably encounter is called an affiliated business disclosure. Now, this is fairly common in the real estate industry, right? Many real estate brokerages have affiliated businesses, meaning they have a business arrangement with other people that help with the transaction. So this could be a title company, this could be a mortgage company, and they work together, and there's a disclosure document about that. This is a RESPA requirement. RESPA is Real Estate and Settlement and Procedures Act, which is through the act from the federal government, right? They wanted to make sure that these disclosures, that buyers and sellers are aware that this business arrangement is in place. So sometimes that you'll see this as like a joint venture, right? So there's part of the profits or proceeds from these different joint venture companies could go back to a mortgage company or a real estate company or something along those lines. It's not necessarily bad that if you go with an affiliated business, but just know that some of those profits could go back to the brokerage is the one thing I've noticed on that. Similar to disclosure of like fees going back to the brokerage is referral fees. So if you are moving to a different area and so I'm in the Madison area, say I have a client that's moving to San Diego and they're going to move to San Diego. They want to find an agent in San Diego. It's fairly common if buyer or seller wants help finding another agent in that market, and the brokerage could collect a referral fee for that connection. So they could connect you with another agent in that market and collect what's called a referral fee. And they're fairly common. There's a lot of different companies out there, and there's some companies actually that they only, relocation companies, for example, they only provide this relocation and referral fee type of arrangement. Now, they do provide some service in terms of helping with the customer service and making sure that they have a smooth experience and that kind of thing. Just know that some of those fees that are built into the agent commission when you ultimately go to buy or sell, that part of that fee may go back to the other brokerage that sent you and connected you with that company. Fairly common, but does happen. So those are some of the most common disclosure documents in the real estate transaction in 2026. And again, probably the most important, in my opinion, is probably that real estate condition report. So if you're unsure on should you disclose something as a seller or not, you probably should disclose it, right? You probably should just mention what the issue is and what the disclosure is. Sometimes if it's not disclosed, right, maybe you don't know about something that's wrong. You can't be held liable for something you don't know about. But if you do know about it and don't disclose it, then that could be where there's a problem. Again, I'm not a lawyer, so talk to one if you're concerned or on the fence or have a question. But for anything else real estate related, feel free to reach out to myself or someone on my team. Hope you have a great day. Hope you found this video helpful. 608-440-9886 is our number if you want to chat further or find us online.